Chris,
Feeling lonely?
Where's everybody? Yeah, very lonely.
That's a really good question. Here comes Carol.
Oh, good. Hi, Carol.
I thought I sent the link to everybody.
I think you did.
Beautiful sunshiny day. People are out
Oh
walking,
my goodness.
playing in the
I was
park.
outside.
Absolutely.
Outside.
That's where I'd like to be. No offense.
Yeah, I was fixing my grill. I thought I'd get another year out of it, so I started replacing parts. They kind of want a lot of money for grills anymore, it seems. They kind of got pricey.
Jenna, am I assuming that's you on the phone?
Hey, Pat.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yep, hearing you just fine. Just want to make sure I had the right person.
Yeah, sorry, they were giving me audio instructions with the call-in that kept talking at the same time that you were trying to talk, but I'm here.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Kurt. You're muted, Kurt.
Ronnie's getting me fixed up here.
There you go. You're back.
Now they can hear everything you say, so.
Don't talk about it.
Leave you muted or just be careful.
So we've still shy of a quorum. We got Nate, we got Jenna, we got Carol. We don't have any board members.
I do know Karen was traveling and she did not know if she'd be able to make it in or not.
Okay. Did anybody get any substantial rain the other night? Seemed like it was just a really light one. It's dry, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not complaining.
No, not field prep. I remember last week we got a fire alert with high winds and, dry conditions. I thought it was interesting. Don't get those too often. Well, any items for discussion at all, since we don't have a quorum yet? Kurt, did you have any input as far as any things you've been looking at or seen, or how you feel you want to fit in as far as committees or anything like that?
No, I had a good, Chris and I spent, the amount of time, a couple hours going around town to the various parks and some of the buildings. I met some of the people. So really, whatever you guys need. But the only thing that we didn't do because of the lack of time and the amount of time that we'll take, and that was to get out to Camp Myra. But
Okay.
As far as around town, I'm familiar with most of the parks. It was eye-opening on the amount of equipment it took to run all these. So, but whatever you need, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Very good. Well, thank you. Nothing else comes to mind as far as, needs you think you see, or just see how it goes. Hey, Tammy.
No, once the meeting starts, I just did have one quick question about adult softball, if that's going to happen, but we'll get onto that. But other than that, really, no, things have changed. I grew up in this town, but yeah, things have changed quick.
Yeah, they sure do. No, you don't know anything about Jolise or Davy? Okay.
I do not.
Okay. Well, it's close enough to get started. I don't know, have a watch on me. Is it 7?
Yep.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started then. Call the meeting to order for April 6, 2021 Joint Parks Recreation District. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from March. Any questions on the minutes? Okay. They have a motion to accept them. There's a motion by,
Dennis, I don't think we can without a quorum, can we? We can't approve them.
You
till we
have
get
a quorum. You
We'll
have a
just have to
quorum.
wait till next month.
No, Pat, Dennis counts as the fourth.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
So we just needed 4 out of 7 and you have 4.
okay, good.
Thank you.
thank you.
Good question though.
Yeah, yeah. So we have a motion to approve the minutes from March. And Kurt motioned. We have a second.
I'll second.
Tammy second. All in favor, aye.
I,
Post same sign. Okay, thank you very much. Next item would be the approval of the paid bills for March. Anybody have any questions on the bills? Seemed like a lot of power, Dayton Power and Light,
Yeah.
mostly, a lot of light items.
It seems like the electric company was paid every month at all those different accounts.
Pretty crazy. Now, what, that one was fairly high, like $438, something like that. Do you know which one that would be?
I'm assuming Blue Jacket.
That-
Then
higher?
it always runs there. That's the one that has the athletic building on it.
Oh, okay, that makes some sense. Do we have a motion to approve the bills? Tammy, you just approved. Okay, we have a second. Oh, Pat, second. All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item would be the citizens. Chris, anything?
We did not have anybody reach out as communication from citizens unless any board members were approached. So
Nope. Okay, very good. And communication from council. Jenna?
Nothing for me unless you guys have any questions.
We always like to ask how the budget's doing.
I believe we voted the second or third. No, I think we passed the permanent budget with the third vote at the most recent meeting. So no changes to that I'm aware of, but I haven't seen the agenda, of course, for next week yet. I'm sure the changes will start coming slowly but surely, but so far none.
Good. That's what we want to hear. Anybody very much. Everybody have questions for Jenna? Okay, let's move along then to superintendent report. Christopher.
okay, so it is really, really nice to have a conversation where we're talking about normalcy in baseball and softball and track and all of those fun things that are getting off the ground. We are really happy with where we're at with both our baseball and softball organizations right now. Our numbers are very much where I would have expected them to be. When we compare them to 2019, softball is actually up a little bit. Baseball is down a little bit, but not concerning, I guess is the way I would describe it, based on missing a whole year and whatnot. Things are moving very much in the right direction. Both of those boards have done a really nice job of creating a program that's going to be a lot of fun and give kids a whole bunch of opportunity. 2 examples I will give you in the baseball side. We have in Little League, we're going to have 3 teams. In Farm League, we're going to have 5 teams. And those teams all have 10 or 11 kids on them. And the kids are going to play a whole bunch of baseball. And so we're really excited for what that looks like and the way that they worked at drafting the teams out to make sure they're even as possible. We didn't do a traditional draft. We actually had the coaches' kids on a team. They split the teams into separate teams, and then we drew numbers out of a hat to assign that team to a set of coaches so that there was no manipulating drafts or anything along those lines. They split it. And when you look down those rosters, I am really proud of how evenly all those teams are split. So really a cool way to do that. And something the High Point board should be commended for their forward thinking to do it that way. So really good job from that perspective. Softball looks really good as well. We have 1 14U team, 1 12U team. Then we have 2 10U teams, 3 8U teams, and we are doing 5 teams in T-ball for the girls. So things are in really good place there. So all in all, we're real happy with where we're at with those organizations. Just wanted to give them kudos. And, from a facility standpoint, we've done a lot of work out on ball fields, getting them around. Things are starting to look really nice there. Happy with that. Track registrations are rolling in. We are signing up people left and right for swim passes and swim lessons and all those fun things. So we are moving in the right direction. And I don't know if you caught it, but last night the governor basically canceled a whole bunch of the health orders that were in place, eliminating the restrictions on aquatics facilities, outdoor sports. There's very, very minimal restriction now. So we're really happy to see that from ease of operating those and running those programs and facilities. So moving very much in the right direction from that standpoint as well. So that's where we're at from a program perspective. Really happy with where we're at. Jeff's doing a great job interacting with coaches. He's spending a whole bunch of time right now tracking down coaches' paperwork and background checks and all the paperwork that goes along with being a coach in 2021. So he's doing a really nice job with that. And I am stepping back more every day from program stuff and really happy to be able to do that. And he's really jumping in the right way. So that's going well. Finance-wise, there's not a whole lot to talk about. The budget is the budget. We're operating within it well, I believe, and moving forward with projects as much as we can. So that's where kind of budget is right now. Maintenance perspective, lots of ball field work. We brought in some guys a little early in March when we had some of those nice days, took advantage of some sunshine and had some of our seasonal staff in a little early to do a little bit of that work. And then when it was rainy days, I didn't have them in, that kind of thing. We started our majority of our mowing crew and whatnot back starting this week. Not doing a lot of mowing, but we were doing some other work. We moved about 60 tons of ball field dirt today, taking care of some of our bad spots. And so fields are looking really good. Really happy with where we're at starting that. We did have some storm damage to some of the wind. Some limbs here. We did have the roof peak vent, ridge cap vent on the building at Blue Jacket, the new metal building. The ridge cap came off in the wind. And so we had to have a contractor out put new ridge cap on. It looks like whoever did that roof used too short a nail on the ridge cap when it came off. It only had 1.25 nails. So it just wasn't enough to get down and get into the meat of the wood. So no big deal. It was a minor expense to have a contractor come out and get a fix on it. So we're real happy to have it fixed and no more expense. I think we spent, $800 to get it fixed. So in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal. But it's fixed. We did have a big tree up in the cemetery that had twisted before the wind. And we actually found a crack that ran. John just happened to see it. There was a crack in an oak tree. It ran from 50 feet in the air all the way to the base. And when they started looking, it was hollowed out. And that was about, he noticed at the end of the Wednesday before the wind was supposed to come on Friday morning. And we had contractor was great. JT's was out with their boom truck on Thursday morning, first thing, got it down before the wind. So really, we think we might have averted some crisis in the cemetery with their response. So a thank you to them as a contractor for helping with that. Outside of that, we're just got a lot of projects up in the air, trying to get some things around with spring. We're getting restrooms opened up this week for a lot of locations. I'll jump to my ear because we got a little bit of work we're doing out there. We're doing concrete work out there. So we're doing a new sidewalk. It's going to run from the parking area back to the ramp that goes up to the lodge. And then we're doing the concrete work at the base of the stairs and ramp to the boardwalk stairway. So that concrete work's getting done this week. Real happy with getting that moving forward. Our guys are doing that in-house. So that concrete project's going to get wrapped up this week. We met, I would say the best way to describe it is we've formed a partnership with the Logan County Land Trust and us to do a spring cleanup day out at Myra Nature Preserve. We're going to do that on Saturday, May the 8th from 9 to 1. Logan Lake County Land Trust is partnering with us on this, and we're looking for volunteers. We put some posts out on our Facebook, and we've reached out to get it on the community calendar through WPKO and through the newspaper. So we'll be looking for that through those different venues. But we're just looking for volunteers to come out. We got a couple different things we're going to try and do. We're going to do some invasive removals in some of our high visibility areas. We have some construction projects. If we get some skilled labor, we have a couple of little roofs on pit latrines that we could use replaced. So we've got some work that way we can be done. We also could do some cleanup of just general cleanup inside shelter houses, blowing them out. We need to take it. Might have a couple little painting projects. So got some irons in the fire. If anybody's interested in that, please call our office and we'll get you some more information on that. Okay, so that's the spring cleanup day at Myra. Once again on Saturday, May the 8th. We're going to run it from 8 a.m. till 1, but we're going to break for lunch, and the Logan County Land Trust are going to provide lunch for us at about noon. So about 4 hours of labor is what we're looking at. Okay. So that's at Myra. The pool, we've been busy at the pool with some projects. We've got several repairs in the works. The contractor is supposed to be in to do the pool heater in the next couple weeks. The contractor is scheduled to be in to do the stairs as well. And then we had the vehicle maintenance guys who are metal workers for the city were out, and they put a new floor grading in the pump house where that metal had gotten bad, and they did a really nice job coming in there and putting new metal in. And I think they did that for it was less than $1,000 in materials. So and they did a really nice job. So really happy for their support and helping us get that taken care of. The only other thing we're looking at from a concern perspective is we're looking at the slide to see. We're probably gonna have to put a little bit of money into the slide. I don't have any numbers on what that's going to look like right now, but we're going to have to do some work to that to get the slide opened up for this year. Probably going to have to look at doing the gel coating on the inside of it. So we're looking at that. I've had some conversation with a contractor. I'm looking to talk to a second just to make sure what those numbers look like. And then we've got some of the railing we got to look at as well. And so I'm working with vehicle maintenance to take a look at that as well. So that's kind of what's going on there. We're still working to recruit lifeguards. We've got several applications in. We're trying to get some more in. So if you know of anybody out there that's a young person looking for summer work, we will train them. We have a lifeguard class scheduled for the week after school gets out, but there's still a week before we open the pool. We're going to run a class that week, and anybody that's going to work for us, we will not charge them to take part in that class. So if that's something that somebody might be interested in, please have them contact us. Outside of that, that's everything that's going on, and I'm sure there's more, but lots of good stuff.
Chris, have you heard from the guys about painting those beams?
I have not, but I will follow up on that, Pat. I'll make a note of it right now. Thank you.
Chris, can you remind me the minimum age for lifeguards if they're interested in that?
So to become a Red Cross lifeguard, you have to be 15 years old. We prefer to hire people once they hit 16, but we will take 15 if we are in a need of numbers.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. How about old business? Anybody have anything from the past? I can't remember anything that was pressing. I think we've been progressing. Oh, did you hear from the company for the play at the Peak as far as the canopy goes? Have they?
Yes, actually, I got an email late last night saying that they had shipped it back out to us.
Excellent. Good.
So I haven't seen it here yet, but they had shipped it. Was the message I got last night. Good
news there. All right, excellent. All right, and then we have a little bit of new business. COG in the park.
That's COG. So that's Renee Price's program in the park that started last year. Had a really nice conversation with Renee. They're excited to come back again this year. And I think the way it worked out last year, and we'd be happy to have them. We've had a conversation about the possible expansion of it to other areas, but we don't have any of that nailed down right now. But I think there's some possibility. So we're looking into that as a possible for them to expand. But for sure, they would like to operate in Mayor Rutan Park again this year. And I think that's a great thing for our community. I think they did a really nice job. And so we'd be happy to, from my seat, to welcome them. But I think we should have a motion on that if the board is comfortable with it as I am.
You see any difference this year with the pool being open and activities around that?
Honestly, Pat, it's probably a good thing because it gets extra sets of adult eyes and whatnot in the park when we're operating the pool. I look at it as probably more of a positive as opposed to a negative.
Any other questions? Okay, we need a motion to allow the COG program to use the park, Rutan Park this summer.
I'll move.
Moved, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Third, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Very good. Yeah, it was a nice program last year, and it did fill a need that we had nothing else going on, really. About the only thing that was going on in the park. Any other questions for Chris? Busy time for him.
No, that playground has been swamped. It is unbelievably crowded, which is great.
That's a good thing. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chris,
Kurt.
I mentioned I had a person contact me, and then I've also seen a couple comments on social media. Adult softball, is it a thing of the past, or is it on hold, or help me out so I can kind of.
Well, it's not on hold. I need to talk to Mark. Mark Deerwester's been running adult softball for us since I've come to town 17 years ago. So Mark was talking to try and find someone that he could share those duties with. And I have not heard how that's going, but it would be our intention to have adult softball again on Sunday afternoons, as we've been doing for years now.
Okay.
And so we are hopeful to do that. I would expect that will happen. We have not published anything on that yet, but hopefully that will happen in the very near future.
Now, is that men's, women's, and co-ed, or whatever you can fill based upon?
We just call it an open league. We've had, I wouldn't call it co-ed, but we have welcomed women to play. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
It's not a true co-ed league, but it is open to any adult that wants to participate.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Any other items? Well, I encourage you to get out to Meyer while the weather's so nice and the leaves are still off the trees, so you can see the lay of the land out there. Beautiful piece of property. And the wildflowers are starting to pop in the woods too, and it's a wonderful wildflower site. And if you haven't seen a new staircase there at the main lodge, go to the T and take a right, and you can't miss it. It's just a beautiful piece of engineering. We need to thank Pat again for helping coordinate that project. Those came out to be pretty incredible. Any other items?
Trish, you there made comments about the stair or any of that stuff out there?
We get a lot of positive feedback. I've had several people reach out to me personally and just say, what a great opportunity. And then I've seen a lot of people making just on their personal Facebook page, a post of the stairs and, oh, we love it. Or, I saw somebody I'm friends with that said, oh, thank you so much for making this happen on their own page. And so we see a lot of that kind of thing. And it seems like every time we're out there, if somebody's by, they're like, oh, this is perfect. We just get a lot of positive comments on it.
Well, thank you again, Nate and Jenna and Carol and the rest of the board members for attending this evening. And we need a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion.
Okay, we have a second.
We're just leaving.
Well, let me get my dinner. I'll be right back. Then motion and second, all in favor, aye.